Hi, friends. I'm Scott Giles, and welcome to Power Talk, my podcast here on Facebook Live and YouTube. I cover topics related to spirituality, hypno-coaching, and the hypnotic arts and sciences generally. If you want to know more about my professional work, and I hope you do, or sign up for my free e-newsletter, Power Lines, check out my website, which I'll tag at the end of this video. Today I want to talk about a theme which one can find in my beloved Stoic philosophy, but which can also be found throughout the spiritual literature of a number of religious communities as well. We find it in the writing of St. Ignatius of Loyola in his spiritual exercises, St. Bonaventure in his The Mind's Road to God, in the concept of the inner sanctuary in Buddhism. Heck, you can even find it in the interior laboratory visualization in the old 1970s Silva mind control teachings, and in thousands of different forms called by thousands of different names in various programs, teachings, recommendations, and workshops. The central idea is always the same. Create in your imagination an interior place of safety and peace. And then go there in your imagination whenever you're shaken by events or just need to chill. You can have with you anyone or anything you wish. It can be anywhere or at any time in history you wish. It can be as simple or elaborate as you want. The key thing is to have the image be fairly specific. And while you can change it around or even start all over again, it should be relatively stable over time because it gains effectiveness with repetition. Then, whenever you are in distress or needing to relax, you can imagine yourself in this interior place, which I call the interior fortress, a place that no one can take away from you. Even if you are in jail, even if you are confined to a hospital bed, you will still have access to this special place in your mind. For that reason, some people get really creative in what they imagine. They include computer screens where information can be accessed or requested. They include medical treatment tables where they can imagine people they care about reclining for some sort of healing energy. There can be advisors or anything else you want. In fact, there is a common hypnotic technique in medical work where you ask a hypnotized client to imagine an inner control room of some sort where they can manipulate controls to help regulate discomfort, boost healing, and so on. It's a simple technique, but it does work well. There is an old saying by Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher who was once emperor in ancient Rome. He said, "Stuff cannot touch the soul." What he meant is that nothing external can corrupt or harm your internal life. As people in concentration camps have found, you can really be happy anywhere because you always have your interior world. The only person that can degrade that interior world is you. So spend some time thinking about that and about what the landscape of your inner world might look like. Is it a dark place, full of your fears, doubts, and memories of rejection? Or is there at least one place, an inner fortress, where you can allow your imagination to take good care of you? I make it a point to spend a few minutes every day in my interior world, remembering a positive place, and then remembering the good stuff that I have in my world that's going on around me. I don't reflect on problems or other problematic things because there's plenty of other time for that. But a period of unbroken positive recollection and imagination can be transformative for mood and productivity. Now, obviously, there is a danger here. Most powerful techniques do have a dark side. You don't want to spend so much time in your interior life that you forget to prosper and flourish in your outer life. We see this occasionally with someone who has gotten so wrapped up in imaginary computer games that they end up getting their sense of accomplishment, achievement, and self-worth from their performance in this digital world. The trouble with that is that such victories over dragons, orcs, or what have you are in fact counterfeit victories and don't really amount to anything. That said, in my experience, the people who use something like an inner fortress do so wisely and quickly find it to be a resource that helps them prosper. The inventor Thomas Edison used to make it a habit to spend time in his inner fortress whenever he was trying to solve a problem. He would hold an object in his hand so that if he fell asleep, he would drop it and the sound would wake him. If you look at the personal stories of a great many people, you will find that many of them did use some mechanism to cultivate a place of positive interior life. In my practice, I often recommend a technique drawn from the Abraham Hicks materials called the Positive Workshop. To use it, you make a point to remember, and it can help if you write these things down, remember the positive stuff that's going on in your life. A beautiful morning, a really great cup of coffee, a wonderful meal you had the night before. Then you go into a daily reverie and ponder all the good things you have. As the brain is wired to recall the bad stuff better than the good stuff, this sort of inner fortress really makes a difference because it counterbalances the tendency of the brain to remember and focus on those things which are bad. As a colleague of mine says, always remember, your brain evolved to keep you safe, not to make you happy. You want to be happy, you have to do something else to take control of the default mechanism of your brain. Hey, thank you for your time and attention today. I'll be back next week with another talk on a different subject, and I'd like to invite you to join me. It does help me if you let others know about my work and my videos, so please like, share, and subscribe. And if I can be of help to you, feel free to reach out through email, my website, or Patreon channel. Have a great week.